Okay. All right.
We'll share this recording now, sir.
Yeah. But
Definitely.
all right. So this is a simple question. I think all of you can easily handle it. The mean and standard deviation of a data set. If a data set is given, you can calculate the mean and you can calculate the standard deviation. If some of you do and tell me the answer, then straight away, I can put a tick mark. I have done it already. 18.046 and then 43.9. Right? So please confirm. Can you all do this kind of problem? Any data given, 100 data, 1000 data, mean and standard deviation you need to calculate. Is it possible or you want me to do it?
With this Excel you are telling, sir?
With the Excel, with the Minitab or no, your own.
Yes, sir. In Excel is possible, sir.
You have the formula, isn't it? One formula is mean, other one is standard deviation .s. Use that will come. Otherwise, feed this data in Minitab and generate the descriptive statistics with the mean and standard deviation. That will give the answer. Whatever answer comes, you can cross-check and then choose. Now, this is another question. The dimension of a particular part should be between 225 and 230. Should be between 225 and 230. That means 225 is your LSL. 230 is your
This one you
USL.
are trying, sir.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're seeing.
An operator collected a sample of 100 parts and he found that the process average is 226, process variance is 0.4, and you are asked to compute ZLT and ZST. So the same screenshot I have shared. If you could open that Excel file, you will be able to see, or otherwise I will open myself. And you have to just tell me the, what do you call, values. Just a second. Let me open that file.
So I think next time I have to sit with laptop, I believe, because I am on the tab.
Better. That will be better, yeah. So I'm opening this calculator. I opened. So this is the file I was talking about, sigma level calculator file. If you come to the left extreme, there are plenty of data for practice purpose. All the data that is required, that will be available here.
Yes, sir.
And now discrete data, discrete
Sigma
data
data
situation, sigma level calculator. I think the question was about the sigma level only. USL, LSL and all those things. Can somebody, can you help me with the values? LSL was given, USL was given, and then process average was given, which is X bar, and then process standard deviation is required. But what was given is variance. Is that value anybody noted? Or I will just copy here.
Average is 226.
Very good. Average is 226. Thank you for the value, 226.
Oh.
And the variance is 0.4, right?
0.4.
LSL is 225. USL is?
USL is 230.
But what is required for calculating sigma level is mean and standard deviation. Hope all of you are very clear right now. Without mean and standard deviation, you can't calculate your capability as far as your data is, continuous data, right? So how to convert the variance into standard deviation is equal to, easy, right? Square root of the variance. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So your standard deviation is now available. USL, LSL available, X bar available. So mean I am putting as 226. Standard deviation equal to, I select this value, enter. And LSL is equal to this value, 225. USL is equal to 230. Can you all see the DPMO is calculated automatically? 56,923.
Yeah.
Sigma level long term is 1.58. Short term is 3.08. All of you, can you see that?
Yes.
Kindly
Yes.
open and then just do it once yourself if you
Yes,
have the Excel file readily available, because every entry is available on the screen. You can do it once and thereafter you will feel confident even when I am doing. Anybody
So
practice?
this file includes everything, sir. Whatever RK sir has sent earlier, everything
Yeah.
is captured here.
Majority. And at least first be familiar with the Excel file, this file.
Yes, sir. This is the version 5, is it? Measure.
And then RK's template will have many features which you might be able to require it at a later stage, or if you could understand, you can use it right now also. Anybody practicing, or should I move to the next question?
Done, sir.
Done, right? It is coming, madam. Shiny madam.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else? That's it. So
Variance 0.4 that you
Ah.
are taken as a standard deviation, square root
Yeah,
of
yeah.
a thing.
yes, because
Okay.
variance is
Yes, sir.
square of standard deviation.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes,
I
sir.
need
Yes, sir.
standard
Yes, sir.
deviation, so I have taken square root of the variance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly. We are what we are spoken in the theory. We are make it in statistics.
That's all. That's all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now I got it.
That is done. Now again, I am moving to the PPT. Okay, the same problem. I think now you are able to see the answer. 1.58 and 3.08 are the answers, right? Why two people entered the waiting room? Admit all. All right. And remove the waiting room. Okay. Done. So
Super,
next
sir.
question. So 3,000 dishes are inspected, 60 are defective. What is ZST? RKSR has already covered this problem. Now I want one of you to do this, right? Maybe
Defective.
Shani madam, will you be able to share your screen to solve this problem?
Sir, discrete data. We have to go to the discrete
Yes.
data
Yeah.
where we have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
finish.
No, if madam can do it, let me give her a chance.
Yes,
Madam,
sir.
please share your screen. I'll help you with the data values. Open that same Excel calculator. Yes. Now
Yes, sir. Super.
they're asking is it ST, right? 3,000
Yes, sir.
dishes are inspected, 60 are defectives. I think straight away you are in the right sheet. Discrete.
Yes, sir.
360 defects noted, 3,000
Samples we have taken.
pieces are inspected.
Yes,
Now
sir.
there is one more thing asking, OFE. OFE is not provided in this data. So come to the situation 3.
Situation
3.
Three.
Because situation T talks about defective. 60 defective, 3,000
Yes, sir.
inspected. Please enter. So what is the answer you are getting? Is it ST?
3.5.
3.55.
Okay, madam. So please stop sharing. I will share. Now I think our people can answer. So
Super, sir.
what is the answer here?
3.55.
3.55.
Very
B,
simple,
answer
right?
B.
So
Yes,
you
sir,
don't
yes, sir.
have to think too much because we already understood the theory. Now you just make use of the templates and that will give the answer. Now, while editing orders over phone, the phone representative must mandatorily check for 6 fields. That means opportunity for error is how many? Opportunities for error is how many here? I think it is related to some. I think some of you was asking about service. It's a service industry, right? No, people are taking orders over phone. Very important that the representative capture 6 data correctly. So in every order form, 6 opportunities are opportunities for defect exist. So what is the OFE here? 6.
6, sir.
Now the quality team sampled 200 calls and found 5 defects. Now what is ZLT? What is ZLT? Now I want anyone other than
2.64.
anyone other than Shiny madam, will you be able to do it? Other than Shiny madam. Sigma level calculator. You can share the screen
First.
and you can feed the value. No one is ready?
2.64.
Because I have entered here. You are seeing, right? Right? So this is
Yes,
easy.
sir.
So that means all of you are now feeling confident, right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So just type here the same discrete data situation. 5 defects are found when you have sampled 200 samples, and for in each sample the OFE is 6, and so the ZLT is 2.6.
What you said the OFE, sir? OFE
Opportunity for error. Opportunity for error.
Opportunity for
Problem areas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Opportunity
sir.
for error. Opportunity. Yes. OFE
Yes,
is
sir. Yes, sir.
opportunity for error.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now for a process, CP equal to 0.94, CPK equal to 0.33. Our understanding is both of them should be 1.67 for critical
C-
process,
Yes, sir.
1.33 for non-critical process, and both of them should be equal. These are the
So,
requirements.
so in this, CP and CPK is not equal. So, CP is less than 0.94. So, we have to take option D, move mean closer to target and reduce
only
that.
one point we understood from your statement. Since
Yes, sir.
CP and CPK are different, you
Yes, sir.
must move the mean.
Mean to center.
You must move the mean towards target.
Yes, sir.
Another thing, looking at the data, CP is less than 1.67.
Yes, sir.
The
So
variation.
this is clearly telling your process is
Very perfect.
inconsistent. Variation is too much.
Very.
So
Yes, sir.
you have to reduce the variation.
Yes, sir. True, sir.
All of you understand how we frame the solution statement? This is a
Yes.
Yes, sir.
statistically, offering the solution statistically.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But in real time, how will you move the mean? How will you reduce the variation? You are the best expert.
As you said,
But then,
CPK is in the middle, sir.
if
CPK
you
is in the
take
middle.
right actions, attack the
Yes, sir.
right causes, you will see your mean moving. You will see your variation reducing. If you
Correct.
take wrong actions, sometimes it will not, you will not be able to see any impact in your statistics. Sometimes you taking wrong action might, aggravate the problem. You will see your mean moving away from the target. Why it is happening? Because you have taken a wrong action. All right. But what action? That requires understanding of the situation, some process knowledge, and all those things comes into picture. I think this is now an easy question, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any value they give, CP, CPK, any combination of value.
Yes, sir.
CP, CPK, both are 2.23. Both are equal and both are 2.23. What is your suggestion now? What do you understand from the process? Will you take any action?
No, sir. That is
Process is
excellent.
good, sir.
Excellent.
Everything
Process.
is excellent, right? So it's
Yes.
above
Process
6
is
sigma.
good.
Above 6 sigma. Why do I say above 6 sigma? It is above 2.
About 2.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good. That's all. Okay. Data being used in the initial setup of a process are assumed to have a normal distribution. If the nominal, that is the target, is set at the center of the distribution and the specification limits are set at plus or minus 3 sigma, then the CPK is equal to. Anybody, will you be able to explain
1.67, sir.
how?
Because plus 3 sigma means.
1.67.
Yes, sir. That is true.
First
Because
of all, 1.67 is the wrong answer. Any other would like to try?
This
What
is the
actually
numerator? What is the denominator?
It's B.
If the nominal
It is B because it is highlighted in red color, right?
distribution.
What is the other?
No, sir. Actually, the specification limit and the control limit both are overlapping.
There is a normal distribution.
Yeah.
And the mean is at the target, they have told, right? Your mean
yes, sir. In the middle. Yes, sir.
mean is
Correct.
at the center.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And now
Plus 3.
your upper specification limit is at 3 sigma distance, they told. That means this is also upper control limit.
Upper control
Yes, sir.
limit. Yeah.
Your lower specification limit is here.
Yes, sir.
And
3.
that is also at lower control limit.
Correct.
If this is the scenario, what will be the CPK under the situation?
1.
Oh my God. That's true, sir. It is 1
Numerator,
1. Yes, sir.
denominator, both are same.
If I ask you what will be the
Yes, sir.
CP equal to 1, just I am asking an additional question here. What will be the value of CP under the same situation?
CPK and CP.
Both are
in the
same,
middle.
sir. CP and CPK
It is
both are same.
CP
CP is
will also be 1.
1.
If
Yes, sir.
again I ask you why CP is equal to CPK?
Tolerance level, customer
3 sigma, sir.
specification,
Plus,
specification by this thing is same. Sir.
Same.
Spread is same.
CPK, when it is equal to CP, your process is centered correctly. Your
Yes, sir.
process average is on the target.
Oh my God. Sorry. It's
So
right.
your process is not
So
at all
beautiful.
shifted. If the process is not shifted, you calculate CP, you calculate CPK, no, it will give the same value only. It is only when the process is shifted, your CP
Because-
and CPK will differ. All right, the question
Yes, sir.
understood, right? Now this question requires mini tab. I'll come to this later, but I'll only explain the question here. There is a data file given, turnaround time of 4 laboratories. You all know turnaround time, right? It's a continuous data or discrete data.
Continuous data.
Continuous data. They are just asking you whether the turnaround time of one of the laboratory is significantly different or not at a 5% level of significance. First of all, what is this hypothesis testing? The situation leads to 4 laboratory, and you are only comparing the laboratory based on the turnaround time it takes to complete a particular diagnosis, maybe some kind
Regression, sir.
of. It is regression.
Regression, sir. Yes, sir.
Studying relationship. Regression is getting the mathematical equation. We are only now here checking whether one of the laboratory is significantly different from other laboratory. There are 4 here. What is this hypothesis testing called? You all have studied.
This is
an alternative hypothesis. That is one second.
ANOVA test.
ANOVA.
ANOVA, sorry.
ANOVA.
There are 4 groups, more than 2 groups.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes, sir. ANOVA.
you want to find out which is significantly different. This is ANOVA. Since only one
Yes, sir.
factor is the type of lab, 4 laboratories. Different laboratories. Lab 1, lab 2, lab 3, lab 4. One factor, 4 level, and your Y measure is turnaround time. This is ANOVA. You can feed the data. The data is given in the Excel file which I shared. You can copy paste the data, feed it in Minitab, and try to generate the p-value. If the p-value is less than 0.05, yes, it is significant. If the p-value is more than 0.05, it is not significant. The difference, you don't have to believe the difference. If p-value is less than 0.05, you can believe on the difference you are seeing in your data. And one of the laboratory might be consuming a very low turnaround time. So that laboratory can be declared the best laboratory out of the 4. So this I will take you to Minitab little later, not now. So these are
Yes,
the
sir,
analytical questions. Okay.
I
Now,
saw that in the Excel. It is huge data, sir.
So we can.
121 data.
I will open the Minitab also now so that. It is opening. So lab that. So meanwhile, I'm copying my data from the Excel. I'll show you where the data is. So I'm sharing the Excel file first. All of you, can you see the Excel, particularly the lab?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, see next to
Yes,
carbon
sir.
defects,
Lab
next to carbon
cat,
defect,
lab cat.
there is lab
Yes, sir.
cat. So
Yes, sir.
come
Yes, sir.
here and select the complete data set given. Control C. Now go to Minitab. I'm going to Minitab now. Just click on the gray bar, paste it. That's all. Control V. All of you now you can see the data, same data in Minitab. Now here, the Y measure. What is your Y measure? Turnaround time. What is the factor?
Laboratory.
How many laboratories are there?
4 laboratories.
One factor, 4 level. So this is one-way ANOVA.
Yes, sir.
Right? And that is a continuous data.
Turnaround.
That is a continuous. Your Y measure should be a continuous data, and X measure is categorical.
Yes,
This
sir.
is the situation for ANOVA. Since only one factor, it is one-way ANOVA. Now go to Stat, ANOVA, one-way ANOVA. Go to Stat, ANOVA, one-way ANOVA. Click this. Now response data are in separate column. We could easily understand lab 1, lab 3 separate.
Yes, sir.
Now come here. Now what are the laboratories? 1, 2, 3, 4. All you can select in a go. And now click select. Now go to option. Assume equal variance. Always we should have equal variance. That is the assumption. Confidence level 95% because in the question they have mentioned 5% level of significance. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Since they
Yes, sir.
mentioned 5%, I am typing 95 here. If they mention 10% over there, I will type
90.
So likewise,
90.
this is 95. And the testing is only difference. They have not asked whether it is which is having a smaller value or higher value. It is only different. So two-sided. Okay. One more time. All that I want you to look at to say the difference is significant is p-value. But it has created an interval plot. Can you all see here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now clearly, which laboratory is having a lower turnaround time? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
4.
4.
4.
Are you confident with your decision? Are you 90% confident at least?
95% confidence.
3.
Yes. Answer is
Yes.
yes. How are you saying? Look at the confidence interval. Upper confidence limit,
3 and 4.
lower confidence limit. The upper confidence limit is not overlapping with any of the other confidence interval. Look at the vertical line. First vertical line, second vertical line, third vertical line. This limit is not going above any of these confidence interval. Am I right? So
Yes, sir.
you can now confidently say the laboratory 4 consumes very less turnaround time to complete the same diagnostic test. The same test,
Yes,
if you perform in 1 or 2, it is higher, taking higher compared to 4. And how about 3? 3 is consuming more time. Can you see that?
More time.
Yes, sir.
The question is not finding out which is higher, which is lower. Question is asking, is there a significant difference? Now, what is your conclusion?
Yes, there is a
Yes,
significant
there
Yes,
is
it
a
is a-
significant difference. How much is the difference? And all that you are now allowed to look at the data. Right? Now go to the data. You see laboratory 1, what is the average turnaround time? 178. And laboratory 2, that is also 178. But between 1 and 2, there is no significance. You can see that in the graph.
Yes, sir.
Can you see the confidence intervals at the same level? Isn't it? If I place one over the other, they'll overlap. They will definitely
Yes.
overlap. But 2 and 3, when I bring it to the same axis, they will not overlap. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
No overlapping means difference is significant. And this is what we are checking with the p-value. And you can just look at the p-value wherever it is available. Can you see the p-value?
Yes, sir.
It is saying
Yes, sir. 0.
It is saying 0. It cannot be exactly 0. It will be some smaller value. But Minitab has got some limitation. It can go up to only 3 decimals, so it is rounded off to 0. But it is
Yes, sir.
maybe somewhere after this, it is some value. So p-value is less than 0.05. So the turnaround time is significantly different in one of the laboratory. And 3 is significantly higher, 4 is significantly lower.
Little lower.
And all these conclusion you can make. This is the answer. Now you can go to the slides. Hope this is not a difficult job now, isn't it? Since you are
Yes.
thorough
Yes,
with
sir.
the
Yes, sir.
basic, this is
Yes,
not
sir.
a
Yes, sir.
difficult job. But definitely at the time of learning the basics, I know it will be a little painful. Now it will definitely pay back. So now, which is the option you will choose out of the 4?
D. There is a significant difference.
There is significant difference. It makes sense to read from the data. If the p-value is not less than 0.05, it is better not to look at the data. All of you understand when to believe the data and when not to believe the data. Believe the data when your p-value is less than 0.05. Don't believe the data when the p-value is more than 0.05. The risk of going wrong will be very high. That is more than 5%. And industry practice is the risk of going wrong with your decision should be
5%.
less than 5%. This is what is called as level of significance. All right, understood.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now we are done with some problematic questions. Now let us take some light questions. UCL, what does it stand for?
Upper control limit.
Upper control limit.
Hope all of you are on the same line.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dash limits are calculated using the actual variation of the data, whereas dash limits are provided by the customer.
Control limits are calculated based on accurate RM. Specification.
Option B, sir.
Option B is the correct answer.
B is, yes, sir.
What is the area contained within plus or minus 3 standard deviation?
99.7.
99.73, sir.
Choose the correct statement or incorrect statement. You have to read the question carefully. Choose the incorrect statement.
Level of the process will decrease if the process become off-centered.
That is a correct
Sigma
statement.
level.
That is a
Yes,
correct
sir.
statement.
That is
None of.
Yes, sir.
Second statement, sigma level of a process will
Sigma
increase
process.
with increase in
Standard.
standard deviation. Is it a correct
No.
statement? As sigma
Process.
increases, sigma level will decrease. So that is the
Yes, sir.
answer.
That is also
B is the
okay,
answer.
sigma.
B is the answer because B is incorrect.
Incorrect. Yes, sir. Incorrect. Correct,
Very
sir.
good.
B is the answer.
Very good. So 3 and 4 I'm not reading. Now according to central limit theorem, is that central limit theorem taught to all of you?
No, sir. We are not yet started.
It's easy way to escape. It was
It's not central limit theorem. One second.
there are 3 types of distribution: population distribution, sample distribution, and third one, distribution of sample averages. We call it sampling distribution. Population. If you have access to population data, you can visualize that will be the population distribution. Most of the time we will not have access. So what we do, we take sample. And sample you can directly visualize. That is sample distribution. But one more method is take samples in subgroup. Take samples in subgroup. Let's say a sample, a set of 5 samples are taken together. Now for, this is called a subgroup. Now for a subgroup, there will be average. Am I right? All of you are listening. Now for a subgroup, there will be average. That average is called subgroup average. Now take second subgroup. Second subgroup also will have average. Imagine you have taken 100 subgroup. Now how many averages you will have? How many averages you will have?
100 average.
100 averages.
If you can plot a histogram of 100 averages, that will resemble your bell curve.
Yes,
this
sir.
is central limit theorem.
Yes, sir.
This is central limit theorem. All that required is the sample size should be sufficiently large. This theorem will fail only if the sample size, I mean the subgroup size, if it is too less. Let's say you have taken a subgroup size of 1, subgroup size of 2 or 3. In that case, you just modify from 3 to move from 3 to 5 or 5 to 8. Definitely you will be able to see your bell curve adjusting automatically. This is called a central limit.
Yes.
How many of you understand my language?
Yes, sir. Understand, sir.
Okay, I'll ask a question, right? To understand whether you have understood correctly. So there is your x-axis. There is a bell curve.
Yes.
There is a bell
Yes,
curve.
sir. Yes,
Now
histogram.
Now I select this point on the curve. I mean,
Yes, sir. That is 100% of the
this point. Can you tell me what is this point?
normal
Mode of-
distribution CPK
Mode
is
of the
equal to 1.
measurement sample.
Either it's in the middle of the.
Imagine you have taken 100 subgroup.
Yes, sir.
100 subgroup averages are there. Every point is nothing but a subgroup average. Every
sir.
point is a subgroup average.
Subgroup.
It's note. Every point is a subgroup average. Every point is an average actually, right? And now what is the center point? This is your
Center.
x1. Let us say this is your first average, x1 bar. This is second average, x2 bar. It goes on like this. I am asking what will be this point?
X0, sir.
What is this if I write like this, x double bar?
Average of
deviation.
average.
Average of all the averages. Average of
Oh my
subgroup
God.
averages.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Average
Now,
of this.
if you draw a curve in this manner, I mean, if you plot a distribution of the averages, that should definitely follow bell. This is central limit theorem. If this is not following, the only problem is to correct the subgroup size. That's all, nothing else. So all of you can convert any problem into a problem in normal distribution. All that you need to do is increase your subgroup size from 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 8. And I think maximum you may have to go up to 25 or 30, nothing more than that. And further simplifying the task in real time is possible if you have a proper understanding on standard error of mean. Anyone here after attending so many classes, if you could let me understand what is SEM? Standard error of mean. What is it?
This is the average of standard
It is
deviation.
a difference between population mean to the measured mean.
The standard deviation of the bell curve you are seeing in my slide, that is called standard error of mean. That should be written like this. Sigma x bar. Standard error of mean. Standard error of mean is nothing but whatever the standard deviation divided by square root of n. Standard deviation divided by square root of n. So please go through the literature and try to understand this standard error of mean. Then only you will be able to understand the meaning of confidence limits. Because you are calculating confidence limit for the average value. Am I right? In the previous
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Center point is average. For the average, you are interested in locating the confidence limit. Isn't it? Upper confidence limit, lower confidence limit. It is the standard error of the mean that is helping you to locate the confidence limit. So please go through this central limit theorem today and try to understand standard error of mean, and then you are in a better level to again get the doubt clarified with us, right? So here the point is normally distributed is the answer, because
Yes, sir, that is
clearly
true.
mentioned sufficient.
The sampling is, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They told
Sufficient
that
large
sample
sample.
size is not a problem. Your company has permitted, take as many samples as you want. Now definitely your curve should be normally distributed. Now this already RK sir has explained. The person who lead the effort to improve a process.
Project leader.
Project.
Very good, very good. Project leader. Which of the following is not true about a project charter? It is a document created
B.
B, sir.
and
B.
must be updated on D.
True
B,
over
sir.
there.
B.
B, sir.
Which
B,
is not
Bombay.
Bombay.
it is a created document, defined phase, must not be edited, and that is wrong.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It
sir. Yes,
is
sir. B,
project
B.
charter should be a living document. A problem statement will not mention, you all know,
Reason why the problem exists.
reason why the problem is. If you know the reason why are you creating a project out of it, straight away try to fix it. This is a goal statement, all of you know, right? Decreasing the defects from current level to a target level, right? And that too, timeline is also given. You can see the SMART principle applied here in this statement: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bounded. What is
Goal
relevant?
statement, sir.
Somebody tell me what is the relevant? What is relevant?
Merely.
Affected.
Relevant. The problem, the goal, the project you are doing is relevant to the company. What is it?
Almost equal to, sir.
Relevant
Possible.
means organization priorities are given the importance.
Yes, linking to business case, sir.
Yeah, your project is good project only, but organization priority for the next 3 years is different. In that case, your project will not be prioritized, right? We don't want to create such situation. Yes, Nanak?
Aligned with the goals. Relevance.
Alignment with the goals. In order to understand whether our project align with the goals or not, we will be relying on KPIs. How this project result will impact my KPIs. And you have a tool called prioritization matrix, project prioritization matrix. There we will use the KPI, we'll assign weightage, financial KPI, customer KPI, process KPI, learning and growth KPI. So there are 4 types of KPIs. I'm talking about business scorecard. According to those KPIs, some weightage, based on the current situation in the organization, and then how much this particular project is scoring. So, but then it's not the responsibility of a green or even a black belt. Generally, this job should be taken care by a master black belt and a committee. So we will be learning much in the next level. So which
answer is, sir, previous question answer?
Answer is goal statement.
Correct. Okay. Okay, sir.
Which of the following is an important responsibility of a champion? We have already discussed.
Allocating resources.
Allocating resources.
Allocating is to support the
Remove-
team.
Yeah, removing the roadblocks time to time, whatever is the hurdle, the champion will come and help. Dash comes within business, dash is provided by the customer.
BOB
Voice of
is provided by the
Customer.
BOB and
So
VOC.
option
D.
is D.
VOB and VOC, sir. Yes, sir.
D. If a customer segment complaint about a longer transaction time, what is the metric you would like to
Transaction.
improve?
Transaction time.
time.
Very good. CTQ tree. How are the requirements that will impact customer satisfaction proportionally? If you are
Performance, sir.
if
Performance. Kano
Very
model
good.
performance.
performance. If you perform well, customer satisfaction will improve. If you perform badly, customer satisfaction will drop. Such features are called performance features. One-dimensional,
That is
also known
yes,
as
sir.
one-dimensional features. Forming, storming, norming, performing.
Stages of team growth.
Stages of team growth. Any team, whenever you form, that will go through this kind of stage. As a team leader, you should know.
Sir, this is otherwise called Kaizen, correct?
No.
Kanban. What forming, storming, and norming, performing is otherwise called. There is other theory like Kanban or Kaizen, sir.
I don't
The
think
stages of.
No.
I don't think
Okay.
it is related to Kanban or Kaizen, but this
Okay.
just tells the stages of the team growth. As a team leader, you have to make sure your team quickly pass through the forming, storming, and then
Norming, and
so that they'll come
performing.
to performing stage, and then you can capitalize on that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Stages.
Which of the following describe internal failure? Which is the answer here?
D.
Non-conformance
Option D, sir.
before dispatching the product. It is
Yes, sir.
internal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. D.
Now we move on to measure. In measurement system analysis, which of the following pair of data is used to determine total variation? What is first of all total variation? Total variation means sum of other variation. What are the possible variations? One is
Measurement variation and
Measurement
process
variation and
variation.
process variation.
very good. One is process variation, which is the real problem. Process
Measurement.
variation is the artificial problem created by your measurement system.
Yes, sir.
Both put together is equal to the total problem or the total variation.
Yes, sir.
Your understanding? No, will answer this question. So which of the following is an example of continuous data here?
Diameter of rod.
For a measurement system to be adequate, what should be the recommended value for gauge R&R as well as NDC?
D.
Option
Greater
C,
than
sir.
less than 10. D.
NDC depends on dash. Can you fill up this?
Indices more than 5.
It should be more than 5. Suppose if it is less than 5, then what will be your action? How will you improve?
Take the measurement samples covering the entire range tolerance.
Okay, I appreciate your thinking. Yes, good. You can have, you can have a good coverage of the samples. Your sample should spread across the specification. That is what Madheswaran is conveying. That's a good thinking. What else can be done to improve the NDC?
Add more samples.
That's what Madhesh also told. You take more samples with covering the entire range, not everything at the same level. I mean, at the same point. Another idea is go for an equipment with a better resolution. Go for an equipment with a better resolution. That is another idea. You can improve the NDC. Number
sir.
2 data category.
Siva sir, the previous question, NDC, what is the expansion, sir?
Number of distinct categories. Number of distinct categories.
No, the number of distinct characteristics.
Categories, not characteristics.
Categories, that's what I'm distinct characteristics. That is a decision by the management or the team. What are things we are going to measure?
NDC is calculated based on the data produced by the measurement system. You are doing a pilot study of the measurement data collection. Your team has collected, let's say, 90 data points. With the 90 data point, you are calculating NDC. And the NDC must be above 5. And another thing is, while designing your measurement study, 1 minute, sir. While designing your measurement study, it is always a good idea to keep 10 parts covering the entire range. You remember we discussed 10 parts. And actually for discrete data, let us say I am asking a questionnaire where you can answer how is the session. There are only three options. Session is excellent, session
Good or
is
bad.
average, and session is bad. Now, how many categories you are seeing here?
3.
NDC is 3. But for continuous data, there is a formula to calculate NDC. There is a formula because in form easily we can understand that NDC is 3. But in a continuous data, we can't quickly conclude. So there is a formula which says 1.41 times the total variation divided by the gauge R&R value. Right? If you do this, NDC must come 5 and above. If that is not coming, then try the idea given by, better thing is, to go for a measurement system with a better resolution. All right.
I am still not clear, but
can I
I will
come?
think. No, I
Can
will
I
think
come?
over it. I will think over it because
Sir,
when
can
you
I
are
come?
having more and more NDC, and will it not, will it not be difficult to measure or difficult to manage? That's my thinking. I'm in the abstract form. I am thinking.
Sir, see here, sir. Suppose let us say after all of you write the exam, we are only giving a 2 list. One list, set of students qualified for black belt. Another set of students not qualified for the black belt. Now, what is the NDC here?
2.
Just 2. Will you be really happy if your NDC is 2? We are not giving you your mark, test mark. We are only telling you whether you qualified or not qualified. You are not happy, isn't it? Because you are not able to understand deeply about what is the performance. So for that purpose, we are now introducing the marking system. Once the marking system is given, mark can vary from 0 to 100. Now, how many category of students you will be able to see now?
More.
Your NDC has improved.
Yes.
How NDC we improved? We have improved the resolution. We assigned mark for each and every question. We can assess you, to the level of one mark. Every question assesses your understanding, and the grade level is 1 mark per question. That's how NDC is also increased. So here the resolution is the questions forms the foundation for the resolution. Similarly, in a measuring equipment, we all know how the resolution is. It is nothing but least count. I think now it is clear.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Very clear. Very clear. Okay.
Perfect. And now, which of the following is the correct formula for DPMO? Now, with your understanding, all of you.
Option B.
Option B, sir. Option B.
B, right? B for biscuit.
Yes, sir. B. Yes, sir.
DPO multiplied by 10 power 6. What is DPO stand for? Defects?
Defects
Per opportunity.
Per opportunity.
Per opportunity.
Defects per opportunity multiplied by 1 million can give you defects per million opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Now coming to analyze. Which of the following tool can be utilized to list all probable X?
Ishikawa brainstorming.
Which Ishikawa?
Process
This is the tool normally we all use. Ishikawa is nothing but your cause and effect diagram or the
Fishbone
fishbone diagram. Of course, brainstorming always happens. Which of the following is not appropriate for studying the relationship between two measurement variable? Measurement variable means continuous variable.
Bar graph.
Bar graph. Bar graph in x-axis is a categorical variable. January month, February month, March month, April month. And sales. How much is the sales? So X variable is categorical in a bar graph. So that is the odd man here. When an inspection process defective product, what type of error is being made?
Type 2.
What is the other name for type 2?
Beta.
Consumer
Beta
risk.
Consumer risk, right? Remember
Consumer
all
risk.
this. Yes,
Yeah.
correct. One of the most used tool to identify the critical X factor based on the frequency of occurrence.
Pareto.
Pareto.
Suppose if there are multiple factors you wanted to give importance, switch from Pareto to weighted Pareto, or switch from Pareto to prioritization matrix. If you say Pareto, it is only frequency of events, frequency of occurrence. But if there are multiple priorities you have, you can still handle the situation with the help of a weighted Pareto or with the help of another tool called prioritization matrix, nothing but a Excel table, that's all.
Okay.
RPN, risk priority number in an FMEA is derived from, what is the best formula here?
Option B, sir.
The last one, severity rank multiplied by occurrence rank multiplied by detection rank.
Oh,
And
right.
every rank will vary between 1 and 10 only,
Okay.
right? So the lowest
Severity
RPN will be
rank.
1 and the highest RPN will be 1000.
1000. Okay.
Now read the question and tell me which hypothesis testing will be the best fit now.
Wants to know whether the proportion of customers who return a survey increased by providing an incentive such as promotional discount coupon on
Proportional
completion
test.
of survey person.
Proportional test.
Response with
Very
coupon is compared
I think
without coupon. Appropriate test for the above objective. Yes, sir. Two proportions are there.
I
So
could
two
see now
proportion
all of you
tested.
started answering, right? It is 2 proportion.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The significance level in a sample study is fixed as 1%. What will be the confidence level of this study?
99.
99.
If I ask you more about confidence level, what are we concerned about when we talk about confidence level? Are we concerned about null hypothesis or are we concerned about alternate hypothesis?
Alternate, sir. Because null hypothesis is equal. So automatically we have to go for a, because
Confidence
significance
level
level.
talks about null
What is,
hypothesis.
first of all, confidence level according to hypothesis testing? A true null hypothesis is accepted.
Yes, sir.
So a true null hypothesis is
accepted.
So the
Correct.
confidence level is on accepting the true null hypothesis. The company's belief is correct.
Correct, sir.
And
Correct.
you are not making any unnecessary changes. You are aligning with the company. Yes, what we have been practicing is really good.
Confident.
Right? But when so in order to check our confidence level to align with the company only, we use the tool p-value. If the p-value is less than 0.05, we are sure that our confidence
95%.
to align with the company is more than 95%.
Yes, sir.
So that's how we do. But whenever p-value goes below 5%, then we will start disagreeing to the belief.
Above 5%.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
We will go for
Yes, sir. P-value is
actually
fine.
in real time. What we do is we'll immediately suggest change. As soon as we reject the null, we'll start believing alternate. Once I know you are not a good person, I'll start talking about badly about you badly or with all my people this side. But actually the best approach is once you know a person is not good, don't call him bad, because to call him bad you have to further collect some evidence. With the current evidence, what you understood, he is not good. But with further evidence, you can prove him bad. So right now in hypothesis testing, our decision is only on the null hypothesis. Keep it in mind.
Siva sir, this previous question, for a common sense and statistics, there is a wide variance.
Yes.
Normally, significance of a sampling study is fixed as 1%.
Yes.
Generally, people think no, but higher the percentage, better it is. So that will be the general thinking. But you explain well. I understand. But for a layman, not getting into hypothesis, that is a bit of a...
After coming Saturday, all of you are not going to be layman. All of you are going to be black belts. Right? So
Okay. Right.
this advantage all of you can take only till next Sunday, but definitely not beyond. So level of significance before doing any sampling study, we are saying level of significance is 1%. Level of significance is 5%. That means the maximum permissible type 1 error is 1%, 5%. All right. So once the type 1 error is fixed, the maximum ceiling is fixed at 5%. That means the expectation on the confidence level is
95%.
95%. That is why they are interconnected. So once the basic definition is understood, then we can talk about the relationship between level of significance and confidence level. Now, next question. For a particular task, the assumption is turnaround time is a function of different. Now there are three.
More than 2.
This is ANOVA.
More than 2, sir.
ANOVA. Very good. Now, which is the null hypothesis here?
Cycle process.
Which is the correct null hypothesis?
D,
Sir.
but
D is the
still I,
correct one.
but still I don't understand, sir. I may be right in saying D, cycle time of process with the new tool is equal to cycle time of process without old tool. Bit of difficult to understand.
Cycle time of process with the new tool, cycle time of process with the old tool. That means your department has changed the tool. They have introduced a new type of tool, and they are claiming that the cycle time can come down if I change the tool. Now you have to start with the null. Null statement is always statement of equality. So the old belief is whether you are using new tool or the old tool, the cycle time will be same.
CMD
As
same
long as,
also.
as long as the process is right, whichever tool you apply, it should measure the same. Is it that sort of a logic?
Sir, you are trying to prove that the new tool will bring down the cycle time. That is your claim. That is your claim. Till you prove,
Sir,
we have to rely on the null only. But once you prove, then only we can start believing your claim, which is we will adopt your
Can I come,
alternate.
sir?
Yes, sir.
See, there are very many jargons there in finding out the null hypothesis. I will tell you, no impact, independent, equal sign. These are all indications of null hypothesis. I will give the same statement in different ways. The cycle time with the new tool is equal to cycle time with old tool. That means new tool has no impact on the cycle time. And the cycle time and with the new tool and with old tool are same. Equal to sign is there, right? And cycle time is independent of the tool used. All these are all null hypothesis statement because all of them convey the same meaning. Clear?
Clear.
But
Okay,
coming to
sir.
the exam point of view,
Sir.
here the last two statements are correct only. Only problem is with the symbol.
HI and H0.
yes, sir. Alternative, and
Yeah,
this
this
is
is only two.
Sir, Surya, sir, small one, very simple, very easy. Sir.
Yeah. Tell me.
Yeah, sir. Now you are in the practice of old system cycles. Okay. Now I am in the new thing. Now we want to give the hypothesis. The previous one, the new one is equal. So we have the assumption. When we are getting into the next one alternative, the old one is low and new one is high. So that is the alternative we are going to say. That's all, sir.
Now the
Okay,
extra sessions on exam questions. Will it help in exam or
Yes, sir.
will
Yes, sir.
it boost your exam score or not? Now what is the null hypothesis? This is the doubt I have.
It
Both
will
are equal, sir.
improve.
That
No,
is not the null. It will improve. That can be, conclusion.
That is alternative, sir.
But null
That is alternate.
Null is, the score with the exam session, without the exam session will be equal. That is why few people are absent.
Yes,
Statement of innocence.
Which test will you conduct a comparative variation more than two groups? ANOVA, sir.
ANOVA.
No. Wait. ANOVA is for comparing average.
Oh, variance.
They are talking about variance. Variance.
Variance.
F test. Wait.
Yes, sir.
Talks about variance. Bartlett also talks about variance. Chi-square talks about a statistics called chi-square. ANOVA talks about a statistics called average. So first two actually compares variance. F test compares two group. Bartlett compares more than two group. So Bartlett is the answer.
So, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
The closer the correlation coefficient to plus or minus 1, dash is the relationship between two variables. Will it be weak, moderate, strong, or dubious?
No, sir. Moderate, sir.
Strong.
Sorry, sir. Strong, very strong, sir. Sorry, very
Stronger.
Stronger. Sorry, sir.
The coefficient of correlation between two variables u and v. U equal to x, v equal to just minus x. Now, what will be the correlation coefficient?
Reversal proportional. Inversely proportional. Inversely proportional.
That means what is the option here?
Minus
0,
1.
sir. C.
Minus
C,
1.
0.
Not
minus
C.
1.
B.
Minus 1.
I can't understand. Correlation.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
It takes some time. And now this
Yes,
question.
sir.
Relationship between number of beers you consume. Hope all of you will enjoy this question. So number of beers you consume and the alcohol content was studied in 16 male candidates. because they are always suspected by using the least square regression. And this is the following equation: y equal to minus 0.0127 plus 0.0180x. What does this mean?
7.
Here x variable is the number of beers you consume, and y variable is amount of alcohol content in your blood. Now x and y. Now which statement holds good? Straight away I'll come here.
Y is equal to
Each beer consumed will increase the blood alcohol by an average amount of 1.8%. You know where from this 1.8% is coming?
0.018.
What is this
0.3
0.018? What is this 0.018?
0.30.
What is this 0.018?
Alcohol consumption.
Regression coefficient.
Okay.
This is regression coefficient. So every regression coefficient can help you understand, the change
In Y.
you can expect in your y variable for a unit change in your x variable. That is given here. Every extra beer you consume will increase the blood alcohol by extra 1.8%.
Sir, what value? You said something y is equal to 0.30. Some value you said.
Here it is.
That, yes, sir. That I calculated 0.307. No, you said something. What? Yes, sir. Some percentage 1.8.
1.8%. It is here. 0.0180 here.
Oh, okay.
That is regression coefficient.
Okay.
Number.
I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
The coefficient of the X factor.
Yes, sir.
In which situation you run a pilot? I think in all situations you have to run a pilot.
Reversing solution, not binary solution.
Value adding activity. A doctor giving the counseling.
Yes, sir. Counseling a patient.
That's
Correct,
value
sir.
adding.
Yes, sir.
Dash is the process of measuring products, services, and processes against those of organization known to be leaders.
Benchmark.
Creative thinker, sir.
No, benchmarking.
Benchmarking.
Referring to the good player, right?
Okay.
After project wrap up, management may devise rewards to recognize the work and success of the team. Why this should be done?
All of the above. D.
Very good. All of the above. It is very, very important that we spread, continuous improvement culture in our organization. Which of the following is not an objective of control phase? Control phase, perform the pilot and validate the solution. Because solution we talk about only in the improve phase, right? So this is the odd man here.
Yes, sir.
What type of variation does a process will have if it is out of control? What type of variation?
Process assignable and chance causes.
Last D, sir.
D.
Definitely, since it is out of control, it will have assignable costs.
Yes, sir.
And all process will always have chance costs.
Yes, sir.
So this is the best answer. Generally, we will be tempted to say assignable costs. But actually, any process.
Assignable and also chances.
Yeah, we are also supposed to close the session by 9:30. We are already going beyond. So chance costs. An ATM pin getting logged for 3 unsuccessful event is
Okay.
That's all. All the analytical questions I have already finished. That means we are almost ready for the exam. So wish you all the very best, all of you. I'm sure with these tools in your hand, you can't go wrong easily. But if you still wanted to go wrong, it is absolutely in your hand. We have equipped you, right? We have equipped you very effectively. You can't score less mark. So please play with.
No, sir, we have to practice with a mini tab and the questions we have to understand.
Little
That's
practice.
really
Not a tedious job. Not a tedious job.
Yes,
30
sir.
minutes. 30 minutes. Just you need to know how to open the Excel. You need to know how to read from the question, understand your input, feed it in the template, and see the output, and compare with the options given and choose your answer. This is how the analytical questions will be. Nothing else.
Siva sir, you'll be supplying out some more practice questions.
Yes, some more questions will come. So far, I think for the black belt group, define, measure, analyze were supplied. Now one more improve and control questions will also come next week, for the next week.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, all of you.
Thank you. Good night.
Sir,
Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Siva and RK for your extra efforts.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for participating all, sir.
Thank you, colleagues. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
all of you.